All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Well, right now at 6, for the second morning, dive teams will search the Connecticut River in Middletown for a driver. Crews pulled the car out of the river yesterday, but the driver was nowhere to be found. We'll have more on the search efforts and what investigators have learned so far. Good Friday morning, and thanks for joining us here this morning on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Kaylee Collins.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. Let's get you to your Thursday forecast. Meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli is here, where warmer temperatures have meant there's been a little bit of rain as opposed to snow showers, but maybe a couple flakes in the upper.
Yeah, I think in northwestern Connecticut, first thing, or last night, you kind of saw maybe a few flakes, but everything really is not sticking to the ground. We are just really warm this morning, so anything that's really falling, we are anticipating going to be rain. Right now, we have a little bit of a lull right now in northwestern Connecticut. We do have a little bit of light showers and over in Hartford, but if you're in southern Connecticut and eastern areas, you're likely seeing maybe some areas of mist and drizzle, but that's about it under mostly cloudy skies. But more rain is on the way, so expect that through your morning commute. Don't leave home without that umbrella. You will need it, especially if you're running errands too. 37 degrees in Hartford, New Haven at 44. Elsewhere, 34 degrees in Torrington, 33 in Willimantic, and 39 in Norwich right now. So you'll see those precipitation chances move up as we approach the late morning and early afternoon. By noontime, most of us are dealing with rain. If you're looking for an opportunity to get out, maybe go for another walk and enjoy the mild temperatures, that likely between about 3 and 5 o'clock, that rain begins to wrap up. We'll spend most of the day in the upper 40s near 50 degrees. Naugatuck at 49, 50 in Bristol today, around 50 degrees in Middletown, Colchester 49, and 50 degrees in Lyme. The next couple of days, we have sunshine that returns for Friday, back into the mid 40s, building in the numbers over the weekend. We'll have much more details on that, plus the sharply colder numbers that are coming in for the second half of the weekend coming up in just a bit. As we check in the roads this morning here, we are looking just fine across the board. We do have some areas of road work over in Hartford, so just be mindful of that. We also have some road work over in Madison this morning on 95. Live look outside in Hartford showing you both directions. Looking okay this morning here in your Hartford drive times. Newport and out to the Hartford Tunnel, 5 minutes. On eastbound side of 84, Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge is 6. Over to you.
Well, this morning, Middletown police are still looking for answers after they did find a car in the Connecticut River yesterday at Harbor Park.
That's right. They pulled that car out yesterday, but the driver is still missing this morning. Fox 61's Kayla Cade is live at Harbor Park now with the latest. Kayla.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, it's not too much going on right now. The Middletown dive team are not here just yet, but they are expected, with the help of other crews, to come back out here this morning and search for that missing driver. Police say this is now a recovery mission. Now, it all started Tuesday night when officers were called to Harbor Park after it was reported a woman drove a car into the river. Police used drones and the dive team to search for the car Tuesday night, but had to stop because it was not safe for the crews. They went back out Wednesday morning and continued to search. Fox 61 was there as they located and pulled the car from the water, but they did not find the driver. One piece of technology they are using in this search is a rescue boat with a side scan sonar. Middletown Fire also trains year-round in the Connecticut River or in a local pond for these type of situations, but Middletown Battalion Chief Nick Mayo says this time of the year can be a challenge.
Diving at this time of year is a little more complicated, especially with the temperature of the water and just ice floating and debris floating. So it definitely brings a different component of risk.
Now, we don't know when crews will be back out here this morning to start that search again, but we will be here and keep you updated as we learn more. In Middletown, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
All right, thank you, Kayla. Well, at the heart of a lengthy day of testimony in Hartford yesterday was how our state can save lives. Lawmakers are also looking at how they can honor 2 men who were killed along Connecticut roadways.
Now, Fox 61's Keith McGilvery joins us now live from the state capitol. He's got the details of one mother's plea to lawmakers after her loss. Keith.
And an emotional plea it was. Good morning to the two of you. This Meriden mom is making it her mission to save lives really after losing her own son. Sherry DiDomenico fought off tears as she told lawmakers about her son, Andrew. The 26-year-old was struck and killed last June while working for DOT as part of a work crew along the Wharton Brook connector. Yesterday, his mom advocated in front of a transportation committee for new legislation. Her goal here is to improve safety along our roads. It would require a work zone safety course for anyone who is applying for a license here in Connecticut. It would also increase penalties for folks who violate the state's move over law.
HB 7060 also increases penalties for these offenses and makes distracted driving on a limited access highway a reckless driving violation. We need greater penalties to signal the seriousness of the crimes to Connecticut drivers. Finally, HB 7060 proposes to designate a portion of a highway in honor of Andrew in his hometown of Meriden. We appreciate this recognition of Andrew's dedication to his job and hope it'll serve as a reminder to slow down and move over for work zones.
She went on to say that she was advocating that not only that stretch be named after her son, but that a bridge along I-84 also be named in honor of Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier, who was struck and killed while on patrol there last year. A recap for folks earlier this week. I can tell you the individual responsible for striking Pelletier was sentenced to 18 months in prison as part of a plea deal. The woman accused of striking DiDomenico has pleaded not guilty. Coming up new at 6:30, after those prepared statements from Andrew's mom, she was asked, Kaylee and Tim, if there was anything else that she wanted to add. Those unscripted emotional moments, they get you right here, folks. And we'll have that new at 6:30. But for now, I'm Keith McGilvery in Hartford, Fox 61.
Keith, thank you. Well, according to a recent state report on crime, the rates of many serious crimes like murders and vehicle thefts are down, but it also found that organized retail crime is on the rise. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro now explains how the state's looking for some federal support to tackle that issue.
Connecticut Attorney General William Tong announced he is co-leading a multi-state bipartisan coalition that is urging Congress to take legislative action on this issue. In a letter to congressional leadership, Tong and others noted the impact of organized retail crime, including retailers like Walgreens being forced to close stores because of financial losses and employees being physically assaulted. Brazen acts like this one from 2022 have been playing out across the country. Caught on camera, police said a group of people filled multiple garbage bags with merchandise at several stores in West Hartford and Waterbury.
It's gotten worse since like 2022. Everything's locked up. It's gotten to the point that even ice cream's locked up. You gotta ask the priest or like the counter to, hey, can you unlock the ice cream?
In some cases, the videos show more than just run-of-the-mill shoplifting.
Organized retail crime typically involves stealing goods from retailers through various different methods at different stages of the supply chain. So what's really important to note as well is that organized retail crime is as sophisticated as any other type of crime.
According to the National Retail Federation, organized retail crime incidents rose by 57% from 2022 to 2023. Kimberly Preslowski is an assistant professor of criminal justice at Quinnipiac University.
They're very strategic in their operations, so these rings can operate in a very decentralized format.
The issue comes at a cost, with financial losses totaling more than $121 billion in the U.S.
Law enforcement hasn't had a good grasp on these rings because a lot of it is associated with the black market or the dark web.
Now the multi-state coalition, co-led by Connecticut Attorney General William Tong, is pushing Congress to reintroduce legislation that would help target the issue. The bill includes increased federal penalties for supply chain thefts like cargo theft and an expansion of state and federal efforts with the creation of an organized retail crime coordination center at the Department of Homeland Security.
I think for law enforcement, it's a lot of, you have to develop task forces, you have to be very versed in like how to approach these things from a crime prevention standpoint. So for a lot of the resources to be put in place, it takes a lot of time, effort, resources, and oftentimes there's a disconnection in that process.
The National Association for Attorneys General is also asking Congress for more grant funding to support local and state investigations and task force operations. Reporting in Hartford, I'm Angelo Bavar, Fox 61.
Thank you, Angelo. Republican State Senator Stephen Harding says that someone made a bomb threat to his home. In a statement to Fox 61, the state senator did not say when the reported threat happened, but he did thank the state and local police for their work in response to that threat. Harding says, quote, their action and attention to this matter has been extremely reassuring in a difficult time. With that said, this is a distraction. All families in Connecticut deserve to feel safe. My Connecticut Senate Republican caucus and I will never stop focusing on the issues that matter to Connecticut's working families, end quote.
Well, a dog that was abandoned in the cold and found in poor health is still recovering this morning, and police are still looking for who abandoned her. You may remember Willow. We told you about her. She was found by a police officer about a week ago in Beacon Falls. Well, Woodbridge Regional Animal Control said she is recovering after she got some proper veterinary care. Her care team said she'll be up for adoption after she fully recovers. And we do have breaking news here at 6 o'clock. Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, were both found dead at their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The county sheriff there said their bodies were found yesterday afternoon during a welfare check, and their dog was also found dead. Right now, investigators say there's no signs that any crime was committed, but they didn't give any more details. Hackman was 95 years old. He starred in dozens of films and even won 2 Oscars for his roles in The French Connection and in Unforgiven.